The breaking of the fourth wall by Jasenia. What's up, Bachelor Nation? Tonight we're talking season 25, episode 5 of Matt James' journey. We're saying bye-bye, bullies. Hello, red bottoms. And Matt James is confessing that he is falling in love with some of the girls from this season. There's so much to discuss. I'm your host, Jess Lucero. Let's get into Bachelor Brackit.
Some rumors that were floating around that could potentially ruin someone's life.
We need to give me a little bit of a round of applause because I finally got a couple of girls right. I predicted that Anna, MJ, Victoria, and Ryan were going home last week or this week. Well, I ended up getting Victoria and Anna right. Okay, so 50%. Also, MJ is about to go home. She's going on her 2-on-1 date with Matt James. Between her and Jasenia, it's gonna be juicy. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, though. We have to talk about tonight's episode. We finally said bye to the queen. I was so over it. Let me just be honest for a second. We'll start off with Anna because she was the first girl that Matt sent home.
I'm so sad and upset with myself. It's the first thing you should know.
The way she was acting was so out of line. She was over here calling Brittany names, saying terrible things about Brittany, and when she went and cried and apologized to Matt, it was so fake. The only reason she was even apologizing was because she got caught. I genuinely don't think she would have cried or apologized or any of that had Matt not found out about the situation. Now, seeing the way Victoria left, that was so on character for her.
I honestly feel so sorry for you that you would listen to hearsay and not all of the facts behind a situation.
I could not believe how rude it was when she just looked at Matt, said something rude, and then walked out. And then she was looking at him and talking poorly about him for him just staring at her. It's like, what is he supposed to do? You are the one looking a fool. He's just gonna let you walk on out of here. It was terrible to watch. You have to know that there are cameras staring at you. There are so many cameras looking at you. There's so many people there. There's producers, there's people behind the scenes, and she's still acting a fool. In all honesty, I think Matt handled all of the bullying situations really well.
I have a responsibility to the women that are here, to Brittany, to myself.
He told Anna that he needed to create a safe space for everyone, and that's how he sent her home. I think just him saying that, addressing that, and then following through with it multiple times, he has just, we said every week, but he's doing a great job. And let me just get into my prediction for a sec. He's sending MJ home. There's absolutely no way that she's going to stay because she was 100% antagonizing it. Jasenia, where's the lies? I see no lies. Jasenia, you are 100% correct. For the first time in Bachelor history, we saw someone break the fourth wall. Like, we have never seen this before. Jasenia was over here saying, you'll find out when this airs, and so will he, and then looks directly to the camera.
You'll find out the truth when this all airs, and so will he.
Oh, that's cute. I'm done. That is just childish to say.
Okay. That was the best thing I've ever seen, and honestly, I was sitting here applauding Jasenia for that. I was snapping, I was screaming, I was so excited. I live for moments like this. When the fourth wall gets broken down in any reality TV show, oh, it's the best thing ever. I don't understand how some of these girls get so lucky, like Rachel. Listen, Rachel, great girl, have nothing against her, I really like her actually. But I think it was also Kaylin, who was previously on The Bachelor, and she ended up getting that shopping spree. It's like, how are you so lucky that you are the girl who gets picked to buy all of these nice gowns, red bottom shoes, just the most insane date night? Oh my, and then other girls are picking up horse poop while you're over here getting dressed in the nicest, most expensive clothes. Ugh. I can't even imagine. But I will say Matt and Rachel's date was super cute. It was really just like Matt helping Rachel pick out outfits and him giving his 2 cents. Yes, you look great in that. I mean, he pretty much gave her great feedback on every single thing, let's be honest. But at the end of the date, he ended up confessing that he's falling for her, and oh my, all the feels. I mean, I think we all kind of knew because we haven't seen too much of her, but he was always just like, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. This is what he means when he says don't worry, and it totally makes sense. She just seems like his type of girl. Another girl that Matt pulled aside to tell her how much he likes her was Chelsea, which is another one that I wasn't expecting. She's someone who I had going home. Meanwhile, he ends up pulling her aside to express his feelings for her, and honestly, that really caught me off guard because we haven't seen them talk that much. And it was the same thing with Piper, how he left MJ, went running to Piper and started making out with her. It's like, I didn't realize that they had this type of relationship, or that the relationship was on this level. It seemed kind of random to me and super out of the blue. That was weird. Listen, all of Matt's one-on-ones have gone so well. I don't think he's had a single bad one-on-one. So I'm kind of curious because this is the first season where I haven't noticed him seeming uncomfortable. He seems to get along really well with really every single person that he gets close to. I wonder if he's a Gemini. I need to look up his birthday. Oh my god, I'm so curious. I'm gonna look it up in a second. Matt does such a great job with chatting with all of these girls. He always knows everything about them, their backstory, their siblings, their parents' names. He knows everything about them. I don't know how he manages to do this, because people will ask me what I had for breakfast and I will suddenly forget. Like, how do you remember 32 girls, parents and families and everything else? Tonight we have a couple of fantasy tweets that we have to get into before we finish off this episode. First up, we have this tweet showcasing Abigail and Maggie's friendship, and if Maggie is the one who goes home next week, I will be so heartbroken because I love seeing their friendship. You even saw it in tonight's episode when Maggie was over here rubbing Abigail's leg to make her feel better because Abigail was stressing about her connection with Matt, and they're just so cute. I wish we could highlight them a little bit more and see a little bit more of their friendship. So I'm looking forward to those Instagrams coming soon. This tweet right here, it says, the pure disdain in the poor man's eyes. I cannot, oh my, you guys, this visual right here, I can't even get this out of my head. When Victoria's like expecting Matt to fall on his knees and say, never mind, Victoria come back, like, what did she expect to happen after she made that scene? It was so uncomfortable. Good for her, she stayed Victoria through thick and thin. But get out of here. Oh my god, this one I think is actually one of my favorites that I have ever seen. It says, when Victoria's trying to figure out who's toxic in the house, and then it's a picture of SpongeBob looking around. Meanwhile, there's a picture of a wanted sign, and it is literally SpongeBob. This is her. Like, how is she sitting over here being like, it's not toxic. Everything I say is just comedy. I'm just joking around. It's like, girl. Okay, and then this one right here, it says, wait, since when does Matt have a connection with Piper like that? That is what I'm saying. He just came out of nowhere. He was over here talking to MJ, then he goes running straight over to Piper and just starts macking on her. Like, huh? That made no sense to me. I did not see that coming at all. I don't even think Piper saw that coming. As much as she claims that they have this great connection. When? Where? Hopes? What are you talking about? That made no sense to me. We could sit here and discuss tonight's episode all night, but let's just get into my predictions for who's going to get a rose at the next rose ceremony. And then we can talk about predictions for the rest of the season, because Heather is coming and I think it's next week, and there's going to be so much going down. And I need to know about MJ and Jasenia and all this, so let's get into predictions. So the girls who already have roses are Rachel, Abigail, and Kit. I say that the first person to get a rose is going to be Jasenia, because it's going to come down to either MJ or Jasenia, and once he knows which one of them is telling the truth, aka Jasenia, she's gonna get the rose. It's gotta be how it's gonna go down, right? It's like a 2-on-1. I think it's gotta be a 2-on-1. The way they wrote the letter, it didn't seem like it, but I don't know. Then I'm gonna say Chelsea. He's been vibing really well with Chelsea lately. After that, I'll say Brittany. I think they've also been getting along really well, and he's done a lot to prove himself to her. Then I think it's gonna go like this. Serena P, Katie, Ryan, Piper, Bree. Oh my god. There's only one spot left. Our last spot is between Serena C, Michelle, and Maggie, and then we have Heather, who might come on as well, which could potentially take away from another spot, or maybe they're gonna add on another rose. I don't know. We're gonna have to go with Michelle for this one, right? Yeah. And honestly, looking at this list of 12 girls, he actually has a genuine connection with all of them. So from here, it's going to get very tough. And here's what I'll say. If he does end up keeping Heather, I think Katie could be the one to go home. At this point, I don't even think she cares. I think she just wants Matt to find a genuine connection and to get rid of all these fake girls and all these mean girls. She's just really trying to be a real one out here. So this is my list of 12 girls as of right now. Let me know if you agree with me. Definitely comment down below if you think I'm wrong, if I'm completely missing someone. But if Heather is coming on the show, who do you think she's gonna replace? Listen, I'm gonna be very transparent. I cannot wait for Monday. Monday cannot come soon enough. I cannot wait to see Jasenia put MJ in her place and hopefully break that fourth wall again, because I loved everything about it. This is going to be probably the best episode that we have had so far. So make sure you tune back into Bachelor Brackit. Make sure to click that subscribe button and follow us across all of our socials. I'm your host, Jess Lucero, and we will see you next week.